Budgeting, Lesson 3, Fixed versus Variable Expenses. In this lesson, we're going to cover the difference in fixed and variable expenses. Understanding the difference in these two concepts is crucial for creating a realistic budget. If you get this part wrong, it's going to make it a lot more difficult to stick to the budget that you create. Fixed expenses are expenses that cost the same amount of money each month, and they're usually paid on a regular basis. A great example of fixed expenses is rent. You pay the exact same amount every month because you signed a contract to pay that specific amount. These types of bills can't easily be changed, and they're usually paid on a regular basis, such as weekly, monthly, quarterly, or from year to year. It's much easier to budget for fixed expenses than it is to budget for a variable expense. On the plus side, fixed expenses are easy to budget for because they generally stay the same. Some fixed expenses may be optional, like a gym membership or a streaming service subscription like Netflix, Spotify, Audible, whatever. If you're really trying to get by with minimal bills, there may be an alternative plan at a lower price point. For example, to stay within your budget, you might consider a cheaper gym membership or using a different streaming service or canceling them. Additionally, you should always shop around for your larger expenses like car insurance or renter's insurance plans to save money. The same is true when you pay rent. You've got options. You can move into an apartment that's less expensive, you can get a roommate, or you can get another roommate if you need another person to help split the cost of rent. This could be a major lifestyle change, but if it helps you save money or make ends meet, then you got to do what you got to do. When you lower your fixed expenses, you automatically save more money each month or pay period. That's because fixed expenses tend to take up the biggest percentage of your budget. So, when you lower your fixed expenses, you lower the percentage of your budget that you're going to have devoted to them. In other words, lowering your fixed monthly bills won't make you feel like you're being cheap or frugal because most people don't think about their fixed monthly costs. You're going to feel the pinch a lot more if you have to make day-to-day decisions like not eating out or not buying the stuff that you want. The little bit of money that you save on your fixed expenses can add up really fast. For example, if you spend $600 a month instead of $685 a month on your portion of rent, the quality of your apartment and neighborhood might not change. However, that extra $85 a month that you save up can add up to over $1,000 in a year. And the best part about lowering fixed expenses is that you only have to make that money-saving decision once to see the reward. Variable expenses are the other category of expenses. They represent your daily decisions for spending. Variable expenses can change based on the day, week, or month. Stuff like, do you buy regular or organic produce? Do you get Starbucks or do you make coffee at home? Do you make your own food or do you eat out? Variable expenses are defined as such because the amount you spend can vary from month to month or day to day. Buying gas for your car each month is another variable expense. So are car repairs and maintenance. Grocery shopping is a variable expense. Your utility bills are usually an expense because they can change from month to month. For example, you might spend more money on electricity in July than you do in December because you got to pay for air conditioning. Variable expenses can be harder to cut back on than fixed expenses because they affect your lifestyle. Cutting back on a variable expense might force you to choose between staying in for dinner or going out with your friends. Or maybe you need to decide between putting gas in your car or buying healthier food options. Cutting back on variable expenses requires more day-to-day willpower than cutting back on fixed expenses. That's probably why so many people suck at it. The important takeaway is that lowering your fixed costs create automatic savings every month. You'll be able to free up money to save for other things, and you might not have to sacrifice as much of your lifestyle as you think you would. It might sound easier to cut back on variable costs, but in reality, cutting back on fixed costs can be a lot easier. Making the conscious decision to cut back on doing the things you enjoy feels like you're taking the fun out of life, which in turn makes it a lot less likely that you're going to stick with your plan. In this video, you learned about fixed versus variable expenses. When creating your budget, it's extremely important to shop around in order to find the best deals and rates. If you spend too much on fixed expenses, it's going to lower the quality of your life in other areas. Saving money on fixed expenses can be a lot easier than using your willpower to make a daily choice. In the next lesson, we're going to talk about needs versus wants. In this worksheet, you're going to compare 3 different companies and their monthly costs in order to reduce your fixed expenses. If you already are paying bills on your own, write the company that you're currently using in option 1, as well as the cost, and look up 2 additional alternatives for a comparison. If you don't already have bills, then you're going to compare 3 different potential companies that you could use. The purpose of this worksheet is to determine ways you can save money by cutting your fixed monthly expenses. You'll have additional expenses outside of this list, but these are typically the easiest bills to reduce upfront.